Good morning students. Today our topic multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. Multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. Okay, already we have completed addition of a fractions. Now today we have discussed multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. Okay, I will give some figures. Look at. Okay, students, look at. If you observe this figure, out of two parts, one part is shaded. Here also, out of two parts, one part shaded. Okay. Now, how much part is shaded both together? Together figures, how much part is shaded? First of all, we have to write this circle. How much part is shaded? One part is shaded out of two parts. So I can write here 1/2 plus. It is also out of two parts, one part is shaded. So I can write here, this is one on this one also, 1/2. 1/2. Okay, here how many halves are there? Two halves. How many halves? One half plus half. So total two halves. So I can write this is in the form of 2 into half. 2 into half. If you observe that here, how much part is shaded on this circle? Three equal parts are there. Out of three equal parts, one part is shaded. So I can write this is 1/3 plus. This is also the one part is shaded out of three parts. So this one also be 1/3 plus. This is also the three out of three parts, one part is shaded 1/3. So I can write this. How many 1/3s are there here? 1, 2, 3. So I can write this 3 into 1/3. 3 into 1/3. That is called here multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. This is a fraction. This is a fraction. 2 is a whole number. Okay, multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. This is also the multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. 2 and 3 are these are whole numbers. So how to solve 2 into 1/2 and 3 into 1/3? Now it 2 into 1/2 equals to, I can write 2 into 1/2 that equals to 2/2 that equals to 1. 3 into 1/3 I can write 3 into 1/3 that equals to 3/3 equals to 1. Okay, same condition you can apply for improper fractions also. Improper fractions, okay. 5 is 7. 2 into 5 is 7. How can I write? 2 into 5. 2 into 5 by 7. That equals to 10/7. 10/7. In this way, we can solve multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. Multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. Okay. Now look at example 5. Okay students, now look at, if you multiply a fraction by a whole number, for example 3 to 5/7. If you want to multiply a fraction, okay, if you multiply a whole number by any proper or improper fraction, we should first of all multiply by whole number into fraction by a whole number, multiplication of a fraction by a whole number. Okay, now look at example 5 in the textbook. The question: in a class of 40 students, okay, total number of students, how many? Example 5. Total number of students. Total number of students equals to 40. Okay. In a class of 40 students, 1/5 of the total number of students like to study English, 2/5 of the total number of like to study mathematics, and the remaining students like to study science. So you are asking some questions: how many students like to study English, how many students like to study mathematics, and what fraction of the total number of students like to study science. Okay, if you observe that here 1/5 of the total number of students like to study English. What fraction? 1/5 of the total number of students. Here half indicates multiplication. Okay, number of students like English. So how much fraction of students are like English? 1/5 of total number of students. 1/5 of total number of students, how many? 40. Total number of students, how many? 40. So here half indicate multiplication. So I can write here 1/5 into 40. So 5 1s are 5 8s, so 8 students. Okay, 8 students like English, and 2/5 of the total number of like to study mathematics. Okay, number of students like mathematics. Okay, how much fraction of students are like mathematics? How 2/5 of 40. 2/5 of 40. So I can write this is 2/5 into 40. 2/5 into 40. 5 1s are 5 8s are. So 2 into 8 16. 16 students. 16 students are like to study mathematics, and also they are asking, and the remaining students like to study science. So how many students are remaining? The remaining students are total number of students are 40. If you subtract out of 40, number of students like English 8 minus 16 that equals to 40 minus 24, that equals to 16 students. Okay, 16 students like to study science. 16 students like to study science. Here how many students are like to study English? 8 students. How many students are like to study mathematics? 16. And what fraction of the total number of students like to study science? So we need a fraction. What fraction of the student? Okay, the fraction of the student, the fraction of students like to study science, equals to, how many students are like to study science? 16 out of 40. So to change into fraction, it is 8 2s are 8 5s, so 2/5. What is the fraction? 2/5 of total number of students are like to study science. Okay, in this way you have to solve exercise 2.2. okay, this is your homework, and thank you.